Hi yogis, welcome to my channel, welcome to your practice. If you are new to practicing with me, my name is Michelle. And for those of you that are returning yogis practicing with me, welcome back. You may notice I'm in a different space, kind of in my same room that I've been recording in, just a different space. The lighting was just a little off today, so I had to kind of rearrange and create another space. So here we are. Our practice today will be all supine, meaning we'll be laying down on the back and focusing on the hips. So this is great to do in the evening, great to do maybe if you've just gotten home from a hike, a run, or some workout, or if you just had some, sitting down and the hips are tight. This is really great for just any time. And no props are needed, but always optional. I always like to include that, is that they are optional. All right, so let's get started down on our backs. Just taking it nice and easy as you come down. And let's just bring the knees into the chest. Maybe just holding here. Maybe it feels good to kind of rock side to side. Bringing a little attention to the spine, to the lower back, the sacrum. Just kind of noticing here what you're feeling. And then let's just come to be still for a few breaths. Notice if your chin is up towards the ceiling. Maybe you can gently tuck the chin in towards the chest. Feel that extra lengthening through the neck, through the spine. And taking a few cleansing breaths. As we cleanse, we inhale through the nose. Fill the belly up. And then a big open mouth exhale. Good. And just taking a few more rounds of this and really focusing on the exhale as though you're letting the body just deflate. So kind of feel the low back, mid back, and upper back just sink down into the mat, the floor, the earth. Releasing any stress. Good. One more full cleansing breath. Nice. All right, releasing the arms. Let's lower the left foot to the mat, to the floor, and just hug that right knee in just for a bit. Maybe it feels good to kind of rotate through the ankle. Good. And then let's extend that leg all the way up, foot towards the ceiling, towards the sky. You can interlace the fingers behind the back of the thigh. If the hamstrings are a little tight today, you can always just have a nice little generous bend in the knee. And then we'll just point and flex the foot through here and then rotate through the ankle as well. Good. And then just give a little flex in that foot. Send those toes towards you. This isn't necessarily hip stretch, but it always feels really good. And I always like to do it before we come into the next pose. Good. Take one more breath here. Very good. Then you can release the hands. We're going to cross that right ankle over the left thigh. Send that right knee away from you. Now you may already be feeling a pretty good stretch here in the hip. If you want to come into this a little deeper, we'll come into what we call reclined pigeon. You're going to thread the arms through. So right arm's going to go in between that little hole, and then interlacing the fingers either behind the back of the thigh or on top of the shin. And then you want to just gently bring that left knee in towards you. Give a little flex in that right foot if you have any ankle or knee issues, just to support the tendons in that area. And then just let that left foot relax. And then you can use that right elbow just to gently push that right knee away. Get a little deeper into that right hip. Just a few little check-ins here. Once again, check in with the chin. Notice if the chin is up towards the ceiling, and gently tuck that chin in. Let the shoulders melt back. Now, if you're really straining here, if you're kind of feeling your shoulders are peeling away from the floor because you're trying to hold the legs, this might be a good place to use a little modification and use a prop. So you can use maybe a bolster or a pillow underneath that left foot. So you're still getting the stretch, but then you're not straining through the shoulders and the neck. Or you can always use a strap around the left leg. And then it might even feel good to kind of just gently rock side to side here. Just finding what is benefiting your body here in this pose. And we'll take another 5 breaths here. Breathing in and out through the nose. Creating spaciousness with each inhale. And creating release with each exhale. Last breath here. Take an open mouth exhale. Very good. From here, we're going to come into reclined shoelace. So release the hands. And now you're just going to cross that right knee over the left. So kind of as though like you're crossing your legs if you're sitting in a chair. And then we will grab on to opposite ankles. And the purpose here is to bring the heels, the feet further apart from one another, and then the heels in towards the floor. So you get a little deep into those hips there, probably really feeling this in that right hip. The arms are a little bit active here, but doing your best to let the shoulders relax. Taking nice, slow, deep breaths in through the nose, out through the nose. And then just check in and notice if the glutes are clenching or if the thighs are kind of squeezing in towards one another, letting that release. And once you let that release, feel that little extra opening in the low back. And we'll just take 5 more breaths here. Creating spaciousness with the inhale and release on the exhale. I think that's what I'm going to title this video, is spaciousness and release. Sometimes I'm uncertain of what I'm going to title the video before I actually make the video, and then it comes to me during the practice or as I'm editing. Always grateful for that little message that comes to me. All right, let's take one more full breath here. Open mouth exhale. Very good. Releasing the ankles. You're going to lower that left foot down. Hold that right leg just where it is, just for a little transition here. Good. We're going to extend that left leg all the way out, heel to the mat. And now you're going to gently bring that right heel to that left hip and then open up that right knee. Oh yeah, you can just hold it with one foot, maybe extend that right arm out to the side. So getting this into the adductor, the hip flexor, the groin, even the IT band, you might be feeling that here. Checking in with the body, notice if the glutes are clenching, release the glutes. Take a big inhale to the belly. Using that exhale to release any gripping, any holding, any resistance, any tension. Good. 5 more breaths here. Last breath. Very good. Slowly bring that right knee in towards you, right foot to the mat. And then bring your left foot to the mat. And let's just windshield wiper the legs here so you can widen the feet about the width of your mat or a little further than hip width distance. Open up the arms and just let the knees and legs fall from one side and then the other. Very good. Let's come back to center and then we'll make our way to the other side. So keeping that right foot planted, we'll lift that left foot up towards the ceiling, towards the sky, interlacing the fingers, taking that little point, flex through the foot or rotate through the ankle. Good, and then coming into that flex, send the toes towards you, checking in with the chin and the neck, tucking that chin in, let the shoulders melt back. Good, 2 more slow, deep breaths here. Big open mouth exhale on this last breath. Beautiful. Let's release the hands. Left ankle to that right thigh. Send that left knee away. And maybe coming all the way into your reclined pigeon here. This side, I am definitely feeling it. A little tighter in the hip here. So again, making any movements that feel good for you here. Maybe rocking a little side to side. If you're feeling this, any pressure or anything not so great in the knee, let's give a little flex in that foot. And if that doesn't relieve it, then I suggest bringing that right foot back to the mat or, as I mentioned earlier, having something underneath that right foot. Good. And we'll just take a few more breaths here. 5 more slow, deep breaths. Breathing into the belly. Finding that spaciousness. Exhaling through the nose. Creating release. Last breath. Big open mouth exhale. And we'll release the hands, making our way into our reclined shoelace. So gently crossing that left leg over left knee over the right as much as you can. Holding on to opposite ankles. And just noticing how it feels on this side. It might feel a little different, a little tighter. Just finding the pose here for your body. And really focusing on extending the feet away from one another, but then bringing the feet, the heels closer to the floor. 5 breaths here. Last breath. Very good. Releasing the feet. We'll bring that right foot to the mat, holding that left leg as you extend that right leg all the way out, heel to the floor, to the mat, and then bringing that left heel to that right hip, and letting that left knee just open up. Good. And then maybe opening up that left arm out to the side. And just scanning the body, notice where it's gripping or holding. Doing your best to allow it to release. Even in the shoulders and the upper body, notice if you're holding or gripping here and letting that go. And we'll take 5 breaths here. Last breath, cleansing, inhale and exhale. Good, and then slowly bringing that left knee back in towards you. And then gliding that right foot to the mat, lowering that left foot down. We'll come into our windshield wiper once again. So widening the feet, opening up the arms, and then just letting the legs drop from one side into the next. Good, and then just drop the legs over to the right, and let's just hold here for 3 breaths. This is always a nice, delicious stretch. Last breath. And slowly coming back to center. And then letting the legs just float on over to the left. Last breath here. Very good. Coming back to center. Walk the feet back in. Let's bring the knees into the chest and gently rocking side to side. Good. Coming into our final pose. Supta Baddha Konasana, so lowering the feet down. Bring the soles of the feet together. Open up the knees. And finding what feels good for you with your arms. Maybe you rest the hands on the belly. Maybe you bring them into cactus, or just have the arms to the sides of the body with the palms facing up. Whatever feels best for you here. Taking an inhale to the belly. Exhale, belly softens. Low back releases, glutes release. And taking 5 more slow, deep breaths here. On this last breath, as you inhale, creating as much spaciousness as you can in the body. And on the exhale, creating as much release as you can. Very good. And wherever you are, we'll bring the hands to the thighs, supporting, bringing the knees back in towards one another, walking the feet out. Let's bring the knees back into the chest, giving yourself a big squeeze, a big hug. Good. Then releasing that squeeze, rolling over to one side. In fetal pose, just taking a breath here. Good. And then very slowly pressing yourself up. And we'll meet back in easy seated pose. Good. Let's just bring the hands to prayer at heart center, taking a cleansing breath. And gently bowing our heads. Thank you, yogis, for practicing with me today. I hope your body, your hips all feel spaciousness and lots of release. Thank you for taking this time for yourself, for your hips, for your body, your mind, and your spirit. May you have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste. Thank you, yogis. If you enjoyed this practice, please give it a thumbs up. And I hope to see you again on your mat. Hope to practice with you soon. Namaste. Peace and love.